My name is Darren Joseph from HEJ.tax. We're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of cross-border tax. And today we have the honor and the privilege of having a conversation with Mr. Blake Harris. Blake, would you introduce yourself, please?
Thanks so much for having me on your show. I'm an asset protection attorney. I focus on offshore planning, so I help clients throughout the world, but most of my clients are here in the United States where lawsuits are rampant. We set up offshore structures, trusts, and LLCs to help keep our clients' assets protected from any type of lawsuit, litigation, or divorce.
Could you comment on the challenges with finding suitable banking partners for an offshore trust structure?
Sure. I've spent a lot of time traveling the world, meeting with different trust companies and banks throughout the world. In general, the best place for an American to bank is going to be Switzerland. And that's asset protection, Liechtenstein. If we're not able to open up a bank account for a client in Switzerland, then we would look at Cook Islands or Panama typically. Some clients will keep some money in a domestic U.S. account, but I always encourage clients to have at least one offshore account. That way they can retreat to that account in the event of a lawsuit.
Right. But having said that, I guess it's good to have options because Switzerland tends to be a relatively expensive jurisdiction for setting up banking. And in light of the situation with the US DOJ over the past decade or two, there is, of course, the greater level of international compliance obligations. The level of scrutiny or the interview process for opening up that bank, as well as the timescales, seems to be getting longer. So I guess it's good to also look at, as you mentioned, Panama or Cooks.
So just to clear up a few of those points, Swiss banks, their fees are generally pretty comparable to what a U.S. bank and brokerage firm would cost. The timeline to open up an account, if it's under a trust, is generally about 30 to 60 days, depending on which bank we work with. And as far as the DOJ is concerned, yes, under the Obama administration, it eliminated the ability to use Swiss banks for tax evasion. But if you want to use a Swiss bank for asset protection, for holding some money under a trust, that's perfectly legal. And there are Swiss banks that actually cater to Americans. And they love American money, and they send their advisors over several times a year to meet with their clients here in the United States.
Okay. So that's good to know. They love American money. Blake, if anybody wants to speak to you and your team more about these opportunities, how would they best reach you?
Social media, Blake Harris Law, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn. Blake Harris Law on every single platform. TikTok's the biggest one where I have over 250,000 followers. Post typically a few times a day on every single platform. I'm very active on social media. I very much stand behind what I say. You can also check out my website, blakeharrislaw.com. Or if you're interested in actually setting up a trust, give me a call. My phone number is 833-ASK-BLAKE. Otherwise, thank you so much for having me on your show. This was a pleasure.